And good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Ralph's Opinion Show. My name is Ralph Williams. I am the host of the Ralph's Opinion Show. And yeah, what do you want to talk about? And let me talk to you tonight. All right. And I am the revolutionary. I am the visionary. I am Ralph Williams, and acknowledge me. All right. It's great to be here with you tonight, as always, every Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. right here on live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and the Kick Network. And we're also don't forget the QR code at the top of the screen here if you want to join in the program. And don't forget your comments are welcome in the comments section. Also, email ralphwilliams737@gmail.com and look at your ticker take at the bottom. Always looking for some sponsorship advertising, so don't forget to do that as well. All right, we're here, as I mentioned, every Wednesday night at 7:30 for the Ralph's Opinion Show. We have a lot to talk about tonight, and we're here at Studio 10 in Berlin, Maryland, just outside of Ocean City, Maryland as well. All right, lots to talk about tonight. We can start off with President Trump's UFC event at the White House. Stupid never takes a vacation. Shame on you. We got coming up tonight. And also the good, the bad, and the ugly as well of President Trump tonight as well. And we have a lot of topics to deal with tonight. First of all, I do want to congratulate, and I do want to give a nice round of applause to the FBI for putting a stop to a terrorist plot or some kind of a plot to stop and interrupt the UFC event on Sunday night at the White House. 23 people have been pointed out as being involved in this, and so far 5 have been arrested. Okay? 5. So with them 5 that have been arrested and the others still at large, or the FBI seems to know where they are, I got to give Patel a lot of credit, the guy that's in charge of the FBI for the federal government and for President Trump, for stopping this nonsense from happening. Okay? And what I want to know tonight is what has happened to our country? What has happened here that we're going after this president all the time? And I get your frustration. I get the fact that you can't, that, you're on, Social Security, and there's this problem coming up in 2032 that you as Americans created because you don't want to work. That's your problem. You stuck your foot, you stuck your, you bite your nose to spite your face. You wanted to sit back and collect COVID checks. You didn't feel like going out to go to work and build up your Social Security benefits for when you retire. But you didn't want to do that. You participated in the Great Resignation. You participated in all that stuff. So that's your fault. So don't blame the president for that. He cleaned up a whole bunch of fraud and waste. I'm talking about major fraud in Social Security. All right? And don't tell me there's no jobs out there. There's 8.2 million jobs out there in this country, and nobody wants to work. All right? And it burns my butt every single night that I hear stories about how businesses have to go under because they can't find employees. The businesses have to go under because employees don't want to work. Businesses go under because the employees want $50 an hour. Okay? All right? I know people in business down here and in Pittsburgh and everywhere else, and they all tell me it's about cost of business. And when cost of business goes up, prices go up. When prices go up, everybody has a problem. All right? It's called the cost of doing business. And I want to give you an example of that Many a few, probably about a century or so ago. All right, all right. There's Brian Pettit. Good evening, Brian. Thank you. All right, Sports Break Media. Here's Brian's picture right here. You're ready to put it up right now. Here he is, Sports Break Media. Also, don't forget about my other media partner in Pensman Sports. Don't forget about him as well. They do plenty of shorts, live streaming of different events, and all kinds of other stuff as well. We're also on Saturday with myself, Leo Haggerty, and the Saturday Sports Blast Show. All right. We'll get into that when I get into my announcements coming up. Okay. All right. Okay. We did it to ourselves. Immigrants driving trucks. We did it to ourselves. Steel mills that went out of business. We did it to ourselves. So my question to you is, how do we get America back? How do we get it back to where we're going? Do we continue to go after President Trump because you don't like him because of what's going on in this country? Do we continue to do that? Okay. All right. Yeah, we know it got dark outside. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate the fact that Moors are back. Okay. Well, that's good to know. All right. Okay. Good. That's good to know. All right. So tonight's topic at hand. Can we bring America back? This is not my America. Listen to the song from Leonard Skinner. This ain't my America. Because it's not. We're fighting amongst each other. We're shooting at each other. We're going after each other with guns. We got juveniles running all over the place because parents don't know how to parent. All right? We have lazy people out here. We have kids that are 16 years old that don't want to work. The only kind of thing they want to do is sell guns and drugs. Okay? All right? What's the American way now? Is this where we are today? I'm not American. Yes, I am. Let me ask you this. If I'm not an American, then what do you call it? I am an American. I'm trying to fight for this country. I'm trying to make sure that everything is where it needs to be. There we go. Bensman, I like that. High educated people here help you rough to let you know it's dark outside. Yeah, I know it is. No kidding. No kid. Here, I got something for you for that. I do. Here, wait. I have something for you. Okay. For all you folks out there that want to make wise comments about it's dark outside. There we go. There you go. That's you. That's for you. That's for you. You get the gong. Remember the gong show? That's what you get. You get the gong because it's bad. I am an American. I do care. Because you know why? You obviously do not care. You don't care that your aunt or your grandma or your mother or your father or whomever that has or your friends or anybody that you know that's on Social Security doesn't care that the fact that it's going to shut down in 2032 because you don't want to work. Okay? You got people out here, and I have nothing against people who live in cars. I know people who do. Some people say that's freedom. Freedom. I'm free. All right. I'm free. Well, good for you. I'm glad you're free. Okay. I don't know what kind of free you think that is. But to attack our president again, to try to make an attempt to attack President Trump one more time at a UFC event on his birthday because you're mad at him because you don't like him. Well, why don't you help him try to fix this? All right. All right. Yes, that's exactly correct, Pensman. You tell them. Tell them all, because it's the truth. Okay? Nobody can handle the truth. Well, I'm glad you're not American. Good for you. But if you are here legally as an immigrant, welcome to this country. If you live in another country, welcome to the show. Okay? But don't say I'm not an American, because I am. Everyone's just upset because Ralph Williams tells the truth here on Ralph's Opinion. That's what the problem is. Nobody wants to hear this. Everybody has a deaf ear to it. Everybody has a blind eye to it. It's so bad now in this country. Stevie Wonder can see it. J.D. Vance was recently interviewed, and he said the economy is coming back, but it's going to be a slow process. When President Trump helped the farmers, he went to a farmer's house and he said, he said, these things take time. All right? The problem with our country is we don't have patience. That is our biggest problem. I have patience. I've learned how to be content with what I have. I've learned how to accept the inch, then get the mile, not go after the mile and forget the inch. Okay? We have to get this country back in order. We as people, not you can't expect one man to do this. Okay? And another problem we have is nobody cares. That's the whole problem. Nobody cares. Okay? What do you mean it's not my country? It is my country. I live here. It's my country just like everybody else's. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's not my country. It is. I live here. It's my country. I pay taxes. Do you get it now? Do you understand? It is my country. But you don't respect it. That's the whole problem with you. Okay? People don't have what they want right now, and they cry and they want it now. Exactly, Pensman. Exactly. You get this tonight. Okay? Pensman gets that tonight because Pensman understands what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about. It is disgusting in this country that we live like this. That we can't sit down and negotiate. We can't sit down and talk. We can't. No, instead, we got to shoot each other. We got progressives out there that are tearing up our country, and you don't even seem to care. And then you come on my show and tell me I'm not American and tell me this ain't my country. Well, you're full of crap. Because it is. Okay? It is my country. I live here. And as long as I live here on this soil, it's my country. It's Pensman's country. It's everybody else's country. Don't you dare sit there and tell me that I'm not an American, that this is not my country. Yes, it is. Anybody that's an American that lives in this country, that pays taxes, that works hard, it's their country. All right? It's their country. Why? Because why are we where we are? Because we have narrow-minded thinking. All right? An attempt to disrupt a UFC event and a birthday of President Trump. Stupid never takes a vacation. It never does. And this is a prominent thing right here. 23 people, they've arrested 5. All right? Okay? All right, here, I'm going to give you an example of something here real quick. Okay. Last Thursday, I went to the DMV. Okay. I went to the DMV because I had to finally get everything. I got all my ducks in a row when I got my Maryland driver's license. Okay. I get to the DMV. I got a guy there, and he says, and I quote, this is what he said to me. He says, I recognize your voice. I've heard you on the radio. I said, yes. Where have you heard me on the radio? He said, on 93.5 The Beach. He said, I heard you on the radio. He said, I was looking for some music one Saturday morning. I was up and I turned on you were on the air. I said, yeah, I'm on every Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on 93.5 The Beach. Okay. Every Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And he says, well, I didn't appreciate you calling all Americans lazy. He says, I want to work, but I can't get a job. Now, first of all, his appearance was horrible. That's the first problem. The second problem is he smelled like he hadn't taken a bath in about a week or a month. Okay. And then he had a bad attitude on top of that because he says to me, well, I can't get a job because the immigrants got all the jobs in Ocean City. That's not true. There's plenty of jobs in Ocean City. Why don't you go look for one? There's businesses that have closed up and couldn't open up on time because they don't have enough help because they can't find any. Okay? All right? You know, Moon, whatever you are, just continue because I'm not posting your comments tonight. And Pensman's my monitor, and he'll take you right out. I'm not playing around. I am an American. This is my country. How dare you come on here and tell me that? All right? How dare you tell me that? All right. J.D. Vance, again, was on The View. And, of course, you know, The View, they like to ask tough questions. Okay? All right. And what's happening is that they asked him again, like I said earlier, about the economy. He said the economy's coming along. We're going to have to be patient. All right. Hello. Thank you for being part of the show. Okay. So, you know, he went on and on about a few things. Okay. Now, I didn't see the show. I don't watch The View. All right. I believe it was today. All right. Okay, hang on a second here. I might be able to get this video on here. Here we go. Here it is. J.D. Vance. Here's the audio on this. All right. Okay, here's the audio on this.
"29 seasons, this show has invited thousands of guests with all kinds of diverse points of view. And we have been asking our next guest to join us for a while now. So we're glad that he's taken us up on the offer today. Please welcome author of the new book, Communion, Finding My Way Back to Faith, the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance.
All right, I'll get the rest of that up to you in just a moment here because I have I want to do Sarah's.
I was surprised at how tall you were. It's very tall.
If you only see somebody on TV, you just see their, in my case, giant head. So
We all
it hides how
have
tall I am.
heads, yeah.
That's right.
We are the table of big heads here.
So this is the
Alyssa-
show of MAGA Republicans, right? That's
Yeah,
what my
right,
media
yes.
team told me. Okay, good.
Well, We'll find out. I think you have the first question, Alyssa.
Yes, Mr. Vice President, thank you for being with us. Now, you came into office with clear momentum, but when I talked to my friends and family who supported you and the president and still support you and the president, one issue comes up time and time again, and it's the economy. Inflation's up, wages are down, gas prices are starting to drop at news of this Iran deal, which we will get to.
Sure.
What can you say to voters who trusted you to lower costs on day one, and will they be satisfied by November?
Well, I think that's ultimately up to the voters, right? I think voters have every right to expect as much as possible out of their elected representatives. We certainly know that we were elected on a number of mandates. One was to close the border, which I think we've done successfully, exceeded expectations there. Number two was to lower prices, and there's a lot of work to do, in large part because of what's happened over the last few months in the Middle East. But as you said, oil, which got up to $120 a barrel, now is at $80 a barrel. That's going to be reflected in lower fuel, lower food, lower energy prices. But there's a lot more work to do. The thing that I'm proudest about most, because as some of you may know, I grew up in one of these towns that was forgotten by the leaders in Washington of both parties, is that you're seeing, that's Middletown, Ohio. That's my hometown in southwestern Ohio. It was a proud steel town. I was raised by a grandfather who was a union steel worker, is that those jobs disappeared. Those factories closed down. The thing that I'm most excited about is you do see a large amount of capital investment coming into our country. Factories being built, construction jobs are way up, manufacturing jobs are starting to catch up. So there's a lot more work to do. I think that we're making progress, but ultimately we're going to make our pitch to the voters in November, and they're the ones who get to decide whether we've done a good job or not, and that's how they're going to vote.
Okay. So President Trump has called affordability a hoax. He said that, not me. He's pouring money into this ballroom of his and the reflecting pool. Oh, don't forget the arch Trumpet, I call it, and a White House cage match. All these things. Why is he doing them when you just, everybody knows that Americans are struggling? What is he spending all this money for?
Well, I got to defend the president on the hoax point. What the president said is the idea that Republicans caused the affordability problem is a hoax. And I think that's true. If you go back to the Biden administration, inflation got up to 9% under the Biden administration. Okay. Right now it's at 3.5%. By the way, too high. We're doing everything that we can to bring it back down to 2.5%, which is where most people would like to see it. But we inherited an affordability problem. We're doing a lot to make it better. It's going to take a little bit of time. There's a lot more work to do. But the president knows that a lot of Americans are struggling. In fact, he ran on that. He talked about it, and we've done some things and made some good progress on that point.
He just said he loves the inflation.
What he said, Anna, what he said is that he loves the fact that the inflation is going to come down when this war is over. That's what he said.
That's not what he said.
That wasn't a direct. Are you his interpreter or are you his vice president? Come on.
Well, look. What the president said. People were asking about the inflation. They were asking about the affordability problem, which again is very real. And what he said is, "I love the inflation because it's going to come down when the war is over." And now, again, we already see gas prices. Gas prices today, $4.06 a gallon, too high, but way down from where they were just a couple of weeks ago. So there's a lot we got to do, but I think that we're doing as much as we can. We're going to keep on working at it. And again, the American people are going to make their verdict, but I think that we have a very credible case to run on, that we brought a lot of new investment. We're building the factories. That is going to pay serious dividends for the American people over the long haul.
When?
Well, Joy, if you look at manufacturing jobs,
Okay.
those jobs are increasing at a large number. Construction jobs are doing a little bit better. So what happens is the construction jobs to build the factories, and then the manufacturing workers go back to work. That also leads to rising wages. That's one of the things that I'm very proud of, is if you look at the amount that wages are going up now compared to, say, 2022, they're going up way faster. That's a good thing. The affordability problem, again, gas, way too high right now. Certain things way too high. Rents have been either flat or down for 12 months now. So there are things that are showing signs of life, things that are showing signs of progress. My view, I'm sure you guys don't agree with it, is that we inherited a mess and we're fixing it. But sometimes it takes a long time to fix a mess.
Sonny.
Okay. Mr. Vice President, according to a new report from the New York Times, you were the leading voice behind the scenes to release the Epstein files, and we applaud you for that. And you warned top officials, including top DOJ officials, at strategy meetings taking place inside the Situation Room. We understand that there are tapes of those meetings, that this was a huge problem for the base. The report says you even floated having Tucker Carlson interview Ghislaine Maxwell to clear the president's name, but you were rebuffed by your people. Why?
Well, I'd say, first of all, don't believe everything that you read in any newspaper, whether it's a right-leaning paper or a left-leaning
any of it
paper,
true?
because as you guys know, well, there are things that are true, things that are false, and things that are
What
totally
part of it
missing
is true?
context. Well, here's what I'll say. So, number one, I am, frankly, kind of a conspiracy theory on the Epstein stuff. And
Okay, guy. All right, everybody. You heard the JD Vance. This was the exact audio of the interview. I tried to put the video up and I was having some issues here. All right. I tried to put the video up so you could actually watch it as it goes instead of me putting it over on the audio for you. All right. Okay. All right. So, they're at 2.5%. And JD Vance is correct. Thank you, Pensman. You heard a little bit about what he said on The View, and that was today. I personally do not watch The View. I do not know what they talk about because I haven't watched it in a long time. If I had known that JD Vance was going to be on The View today, I probably would have watched it because I'm interested to see what he has to say. He's a well-spoken guy who is very, and I really appreciated the fact that he was very good at handling Vladimir Stavitsky or Zelensky or Zabuzki or whatever his name is from Ukraine when he kept coming putting his hand out looking for money. All right. All right. That's Ralph's opinion today. We're done with all this. Let's get into this peace deal with Iran. Now, some of the purposes of the peace deal, from what I'm to the understanding, is that Iran wants some of their money that's owed to them back. Now, I don't know what's owed to them. I don't care what's, thank you, Pensman, for doing that. I appreciate it. Pensman's my monitor. Thank you. All right, I don't need that anymore. I am an American. I am the revolutionary. I am the visionary. I am Ralph Williams. All right? And until everybody understands that, that's, Oh, by the way, I'm coming up with a new program. It's called the Ralph Report Exposed. I am going to expose companies who are ripping the consumer off. I recently bought some cheesesteaks, and they were these little mini cheesesteaks like this, and I think I got, about 8 of them, I think, 10 maybe. And I paid $50 for it, plus I had to pay for shipping. That's a ripoff. And I'm going to expose companies who do that, companies who lower the size of something and charge more money. Somebody that what they call misrepresents themselves, like, Geno's or whatever, or Tony's or whoever, that has this little pizza that's about this big, and he calls it a party pizza. You see what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm getting at? That is what I want to expose. And I do these things for you. I don't do them for my health. I do them for you. That's why I'm an American that does it. I do it for you. All right? Because I don't want to see you getting ripped off, especially my handicapped brethren and friends and family. All right? We can be exposed as handicapped people. And those of you who don't know and you're new to the show, I am in a wheelchair. I am handicapped. Okay? All right? So I don't want to see people get ripped off. And I will expose these companies. And some of these companies I'm purposely exposing because the excuse that I got from them when I asked them if they want to do sponsorship advertising, like I spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars at some of these places. And they say to me, yeah, Ralph, I'm just a startup and I don't know. Nah, I don't have a marketing team. You don't need one. And, some of these media companies have people so scared that they don't even want to deal with media or radio or anything like that because some of these media companies charge $8 million. I have affordable advertising that's very affordable for your business. But nothing happens because nobody cares, you see. All right. And then I get the excuse too, oh, I got so much business, I don't know what to do with it. Okay. All right. I am tired of being treated like a redheaded stepchild. I really am. And it's getting old. And not only is it getting old, it's getting disgusting and it's getting really out of control. All right. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with Pensman? What's wrong with Brian Pettit and Sports Break Me? What is wrong with us that you don't like? What is wrong with us? What is wrong with the fact that we cannot get where we need to be because you don't like us, you don't want to watch our programming, or you think our programming stinks? We come up with new shows. We got a show coming up in July called Anything Goes. It's going to be on Sunday night at 8 o'clock. Anything goes. We talk about anything. Okay? If somebody picked their nose, we're going to talk about that. Okay? What's the problem here? All right? What's the problem with America? Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, I have. All right. Big Jim Spike's one of my radio show sponsors. Okay. All right. He's a great guy, Big Jim. If you go down to Ocean City, Maryland, go to bigjimspikes.com. All right. 410-289-1203. Big Jim Spikes in Ocean City, Maryland. If you need a scooter, if you're a motorized scooter coming to Ocean City, Maryland, call Big Jim today. Reserve your bike. He has 3 locations on the boardwalk. He will take very good care of you. Tell him Ralph Williams sent you. Okay? All right. Okay. Let's get into some more of this. That the guy who killed the United healthcare worker, Mancioni, his lawyer, and I kind of suspect that this was going to happen. His lawyer has decided that he's going to say something about the he's going to try to plead mental insanity. He's, of course, a lot of defense lawyers, no offense to a defense lawyer, but most of them, with high-profile cases like this, are going to go into court and say he's mentally unstable and needs mental health and no death penalty. So I don't know who his lawyer is, but whoever it is, okay? All right. Okay, whoever it is. All right. This guy. All right. Yeah, here we go. Let's see if this is. Nope, that's not it. I'm trying to remember the guy's name off the top of my head. I know it's, and he killed that United Healthcare worker, big president, CEO, because he couldn't get insurance. Why do you think there's government health care? Why couldn't you go on the website and look and get insurance to fit your budget? They have it. It's there. Why? Okay. But no, you're going to go out and kill the man because you couldn't get insurance. Postal workers and old postal workers or whatever, when they don't get their way, they go out and they shoot the post office. Remember that? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I remember that. Okay. You know what else I remember? I remember when people were constantly just shooting around because people are racist. That continues to go on. Okay. In this country. I'm not racist, but I don't like illegal immigrants. I like what ICE is doing. And there are you progressives out there who don't like ICE and don't want to deal with ICE and want to get in their way and want to obstruct the throughway, and you want to rah, 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 scream and holler, make stupid laws that don't apply. All right. Yeah, Luigi Mancioni. Thank you. Yep, Luigi. That's his name. All right. Yeah, that's his name. Luigi Mancioni. And his attorney now, which, you kind of suspect was going to happen. Okay. All right. He's using a psychiatric defense. And this is from NBC News, from U.S. News. It says Luigi Mancioni will use a psychiatric defense in state murder case. All right. That's where his attorneys are going with this. Okay. That's where they are going. All right. I'm trying to see who his lawyers are here. But whoever they are, that's what's happening. Okay. And you know, sometimes I feel bad for these families. I do. The families of the people who get killed in these things, and these attorneys who go out there and do this. Some of these attorneys, you know, you get paid to do it, and that's what your job is. To go out and get people off on stuff. All right. You might not like it, but it is what it is. All right. And that's exactly what happens. It is what it is. Okay. I mean, you know, so there you are. He's pleaded not guilty with reason of insanity. Okay. They say he's insane. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out if he's insane. We will find that out as well. That's Ralph's opinion tonight. Let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly of President Trump. I tell you, and I got to tell you, the good, the bad, and the ugly tonight, it don't look too bad. I mean, it really doesn't. And, you know, here we go. All right, let's go. The good, the bad, and the ugly of President Trump. All right. The good. The peace deal with Iran. We finally got that done. But I'm not very pleased about this because I wanted us to take Iran out. I wanted the government to go bye-byes. I wanted the entire situation with Iran wiped out. I wanted them to go, the United States to go in, work with the people, and get them out. All of them out. Not invade Iran, but go in and work with the people to overthrow the government and get them out. That didn't happen. We have a lot of unfinished business in the Middle East. And that looks bad on President Trump right now. The good, we got the peace deal done. The good, the Strait of Hormuz is open again. The good, we don't have to worry about maybe gas prices will go down. Maybe food prices will go down. Maybe the economy will get fixed. And I told you this show a few weeks ago, that I'm very frustrated at the fact that we're so worried about gas. We're so worried about gas. Oh, gas went up. Oh, I got to spend more money. Oh, deal with it then. Cut back on your drinking habits. Cut back on your smoking. Cut back on something. Gas goes up all the time. It goes up and down, up and down. It's like a roller. It's like your car going up and down on a lift at a repair shop or roller coaster that goes up and goes like that. All right. The good is the peace deal was done. The bad is we look bad again in the Middle East. Rah, rah, rah. We're going to take out Iran. Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. Oh, we're going to do, you know what I mean? You know? And here we are. Okay, here we are. All right. Karen Friedman is his lawyer. Thank you. I believe so. All right. But I am getting real disgusted with the fact. Who do we have here? Thank you so much. Awesome show, Ralph. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me see what I got here. I got to find something I'm looking for. Here we go. All right. There we are. Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Sports Break Media, as well, for your comments. Here we go. Thank you. All right, Easton. Thank you. There we go. All right. Okay. Let me see who we got here. All right. I got to find out who we have here on this one. All right. Norwich, thank you. Sorry about that. That little beeping noise. There's some interference. All right. All right. The ugly. The stocks went down today. That's ugly. Okay. What else is ugly? The attempt to interrupt the UFC event on Sunday. That was ugly. That's not President Trump's fault, but that was ugly. And we as a country now look ugly because we didn't complete the job in the Middle East with Iran. We didn't complete it with Afghanistan. We didn't complete it with Iraq. And now we let Iran do whatever they feel like it now again. All right. I don't know what the peace plan. It's not being released. There's some speculation on some things. I do know the Strait of Hormuz is back open. I do know that. All right. Okay. 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 Yeah, it is very ugly. That's right, Pensman. Because it was a great event. I mean, I don't even watch UFC. Pensman follows UFC. I don't. But I watched it because it was at the White House. And, like he said to me on the phone, we were talking about it. Pensman says to me, well, it took the White House event for you to get involved in UFC. Well, I watched Ronda Rousey, I watched CM Punk, and I watched Brock Lesnar. Beyond that, I didn't watch anybody else in UFC. Shayna Baszler as well. MMA or whatever. Jake Hager or Jake Stratton or whatever the hell his name is. Former wrestler. Now he's in a slap league where they have professional slapping. All right. That was ugly. That was ugly. It was a good event, but it was ugly in the fact that someone again tried to do something to President Trump. And he didn't succeed, which is good. The bad, again, is we let Iran off on this whole thing. We should have blew him away like we said we were going to do. And I'm getting real tired of President Trump doing this. He continues to do this. Oh, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and then does something else. Okay? If he's listening to his advisors and not doing, you know what I mean? Exactly. He's a human being, Pensman, and you might not like him as our president, but you know what's interesting? He's the president of our country, and you should respect him regardless. All right? He's a very outspoken man. And the first term, I didn't want him in because he acted like a third grader. Now he's not acting like a third grader. He's still the opinion person that he is. All right? Yes, he is. He's doing the best job right now. Aren't you tired of China coming in here and stealing our farms? Aren't you tired of Mexico? John Deere's made in Mexico now. Aren't you tired of that? President Trump has said, you come and work and put your plant in America. I'll take care of you. That creates jobs. I heard our military stuff's being made by foreign countries. Are you kidding me? What is wrong with America? What is wrong? And you endorse this because it's all about saving a buck. That's what it's about. Okay? It's about saving a buck is what it is. That's where we are today in this country. That's right. That's it. President Trump went and visited a farm. He was invited to a farm. And he looked around, and the farmer said, look, we're having problems. And Biden, who failed, and John Fetterman and all these other people who failed to pass the farm bill last time before President Trump was elected president. Everybody forgets about that. Okay? And he sat down with President Trump, invited him over his place. He came to his farm. He sat down and had dinner. He said, you know what? This is some of the best food I ever ate. And you know what the farmer said? My wife makes it here. It's fresh food. Everything's fresh. The apple pie, the mashed potatoes, the whatever. Everything was fresh. Okay? It's made here. It's made here on the farm. He said, all we're asking is for fair treatment. And President Trump said to this farmer, I will deal with it, but it will take time. President Trump called him up on the phone. He literally almost passed out. He dropped the phone on the floor. And he said, I want you to come to the State of the Union address because I have something I want to talk to you about. He came to the State of the Union address, this farmer. And guess what this farmer's job is now with the president? He's in charge of making sure that he is a spokesman for the farmers. And then President Trump came back to his property and he said, I will take care of this. And he has. Okay? But I'm not happy with the fact that either he lied or he just didn't understand or know or have the right strategy to deal with Iran. And here's Iran now, instead of taking this little inch of this peace deal and being satisfied with it, they want a mile. What do they want? Oh, they want Israel out of Beirut. They want this, that, or whatever. They want steak dinners every night. They want whatever. They want all kinds of retarded stuff that doesn't even apply to this peace deal. Open the Isle of Hormuz, stop making nuclear weapons, and you get nothing in money. Nothing, not a thing. If it's me, that's what you get. And if you don't like it, I'll blow you away. It's that simple. But no, we didn't do that again. In America laid an egg. We did. We laid an egg. We did unfinished business. All right. I like how Joe Biden's probably sleeping. He forgot about it. That's exactly it. Everybody forgets about the farm bill thing that went unnoticed. Okay. All right. Yeah, Mr. Joe Biden. Okay. Yeah. There. All right. He gets the gong. It's over. It's done. Joe Biden ruined this country with a lot of things that he shouldn't have done. Okay? There's a lot of things that perhaps that he did that were stupid, and I know he's a human being just like President Trump is. But the good, the bad, and the ugly today, President Trump, I just gave it to you. All right? The Epstein files, that's another lingering problem that's ugly for the Trump administration. Okay? And the economy has to get back in order, or President Trump's not going to, it's not going to vote well for the Republicans. The midterms are coming up, and the Republicans need to really get going. And President Trump's got to fix a couple things. All right, just some announcements for this weekend coming up. Don't forget, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., 93.5 The Beach. Here we are. All right, the Saturday of Ralph. 93.5 The Beach, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. But I forgot to tell you this one, and I didn't want to do that, but unfortunately it happened, but it's not going to happen again. All right, here we are. Friday, every Friday, 3 to 4 p.m., 6:20 a.m. KHB in Pittsburgh on Pittsburgh Radio. Here it is, the Sports Corner Radio Show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree. Here it is. Williams. Don't forget, I am the visionary. I am the revolutionary. I am Ralph Williams. All right. And that's Friday, every Friday, 3 to 4 p.m. And then Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. As I mentioned before, I'll mention again. Call your friend, call your cousin, 93.5 The Beach, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. The Ralph Williams Show. All right. Lots to talk about as we always do every time. Okay. It says, quick question. Are the tariffs doing anything? Well, that's a good question. They are. They're bringing money into this country that we didn't have. And I'll tell you what else looks ugly, too, about President Trump that I forgot to mention, too, was the fact that this Kennedy Center thing, he wanted to put his name on there, and a Supreme Court judge voted it down, which means that looks bad. That's ugly. That looks really bad for President Trump. All right. Last time he ran, he said, I'm going to be up on Mount Rushmore. All right. You can't force your name onto something that's already there. And I get it. He doesn't like the Kennedys. Robert Kennedy, who's his health secretary. Okay. We're going to bring him in, make America healthy again. Take sugar out of cereal. Whatever. It's not going to work. All right. Kids are going to eat cereal, whether it has sugar in it. Well, yeah. All right. It's the way it is. Parents don't have no control over their kids, so they're going to eat all that sugar anyway. Now, I'll give you a prime example of this, and I didn't really want to go into this, but I want to give you an example of something. I was at my church, and it was right around Halloween time. I had some candy, and I witnessed a kid stuff 20 pieces of candy in his pocket. I witnessed another kid stuff a whole heap of candy in his pocket. So I decided that you get one piece of candy. Actually, you get two pieces of candy. And if you want any more, your parent has to come and see me and give permission for you to have another piece of candy. Because I didn't want you to stuff your face with candy and have sugar and all that other stuff going on. You see what I'm saying? But it didn't work. Because I got into an argument with this woman who said, I'm going to put my candy on it whether you want to. Yeah, no, Ralph, it's Halloween and the kids. Really? Well, you're going to take responsibility if that kid eats all that candy and gets sick? Are you going to take responsibility for that kid? No. That's why I decided that day that I was going to hand out candy and give each kid two pieces. If you want more, you bring your parent, your grandma, whoever your adult is that's here with you. You bring them over, say, hey, look, you have permission to give him some more candy. But again, it got shot down. All right. And it's Halloween. Kids, what? That's the attitude we have in this country. So, Robert Kennedy, that's not going to work. All right. But anyway, let's get back to our announcements here. Don't forget every Monday, let's get through this weekend first. All right. Saturday, 8 to 9 a.m. Don't forget about the Ralph Williams Show. All right, every single Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 1250 The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial, and theanswerpgh.com. And I'm going to show you their banner right here. There it is, 1250 The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial. And then don't forget, too, on Saturday as well, at 2 to 3 p.m., also on The Answer, the Sports Corner radio show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudio Rosano, and Luther Dupree. But before that, all right, before that, I got something for you. Yes, indeed. There it is. The Sports Blast Show right here every Saturday, the Saturday Sports Blast. With me, Ralph Williams, Pensman Sports, Brian Pettit, and Leo Haggerty. Great sports talk. We're going to talk about the NBA Finals and a whole lot more all coming up this Saturday as well. The NHL has wrapped up its season. Drafts are coming up. What's going to happen in these different drafts? Trade deadlines coming up. All kinds of stuff to talk about. Criminal activity. All kinds of stuff to talk about. The UFL Championship. Where do some of these players go? The supplemental draft coming up. Still a lot going on. Baseball. The Saturday Sports Blast. Check us out this and every Saturday, 10 a.m. live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and the Kick platform as well, the Kick Network. All right, so that's where we'll be at with that. And also don't forget on Sunday, the Ralph Williams Show, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. with me, Ralph Williams, and Tony Moreno. And then don't forget on Monday, 2 to 3 p.m., the Ralph Williams Show at 620 KHB. Here we go. All right, 620 KHB every Monday, 2 to 3 p.m. The Ralph Williams Show. There it is right there. Don't forget it's in Pittsburgh. You have to tune in on the radio right now. Some storms have knocked out their internet. They're having major issues. Until they get that done, you're going to have to listen on the radio in Western Pennsylvania if you want to. Great signal, 620 KHB. And I'm working on getting on there Monday through Friday, but that's happening as well. That's a dream of mine right now, and I don't know how much more I'm going to be dreaming because of that. Also, don't forget on Wednesdays, 3 to 4 p.m., 860 a.m., WWDB in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, the Ralph Williams Show, 3 to 4 p.m. every single Wednesday and then also don't forget Monday night. All right, I'm gonna put this up in a few minutes here, but first, this is here. All right. And then, of course, last but not least, we have the Ralph Report Wrestling Edition. And that is every single Monday night for Raw, the post-Raw show. And that's every single Monday night. All right. There we are, the wrestling edition of the Ralph Report. And then also, don't forget on Friday night, right after SmackDown, the SmackDown post show and other wrestling reports, the Ralph Report Sports Edition, the regular Ralph Report. I come on occasionally, talk about some different things. And now the Ralph Report Exposed. I'm going to expose people for everything. All right. No matter what it is, I'm going to expose them. All right. All right. I want to thank everyone who sent their prayers out to my wife who has a hernia. I had to take her to the hospital on Saturday, and Saturday in the late night, and we ended up being there for about 6 hours at the hospital. But I want to thank everybody for your prayers and thoughts and prayers. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I'm Ralph Williams. You're a revolutionary. You're a visionary. This has been, and please acknowledge me. This has been the Ralph's Opinion Show. Until next time, have yourself a great one, and please, by all means, be safe. Thank you. Don't forget to tune in coming up at 9 o'clock, Steel City Sports World. I'll be on with Luther Dupree, Claudia Rosano, Fillmore, Big Rome, and Smoking Jim Frazier. Have yourself a great night. And by all means, please be safe. Talk to you next week.